My niggas outside, steak, bitch, we out back.
Hello, everybody. I am the official urban therapist. I appreciate y'all tuning in to this special night edition of the show. My apologies for not having the show earlier. It was a reason behind it. I'm gonna explain it to you shortly, but I'm just gonna wait for everyone to come in first. All right. I hope each and every last one of you had a good Tuesday so far. But yeah, I'm just waiting on everybody to come on in, so we could talk about this. Okay. Yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all coming in, and tuning in to this special show. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Let me check. Oh yeah, I'm good. All right. Once again, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning into this special show. Normally, y'all know normally I do my shows around by 8 p.m. or 8:30, give or take, depending on the situation. But I had decided to do this particular show on this late for a reason. Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all coming up. Yeah, Miss Adams, I see you in the chat. Appreciate you. Hey, Joe, I see you as well too. Appreciate you tuning in as well too. To be honest with y'all, the reason why I didn't want to do my 8 o'clock show today is because, to be honest with y'all, I've been grieving this whole entire situation. My condolences out to the families who've been affected by this tragic event. One thing about me, y'all, is that I am very very empathetic, especially with situations like this. And I had did a live expressing my concerns about the Buffalo shooting, even though YouTube took that down, but it was good reasons because you know what I'm saying I was going in on that video for real, and I was showing some actual graphic footage as well on the Buffalo shooting that I was covering. But today I'm not gonna show no graphic footage or anything like that. We're just gonna have a conversation. We're gonna talk about it. But yeah, I'm very empathetic about the things that happen to people. You know, I'm very empathetic. So yeah, to be honest with y'all, when I was just unfolding earlier today, and I was grieving with the families for real. My heart was hurting for them for real. Yeah, I know. I was feeling they pain. I was feeling their loss and everything. Same thing for the situation in Buffalo as well too. I was feeling their pain. I was feeling their loss. Feeling frustrated. Feeling upset. So yeah, it was. To be honest with y'all, that was the reason why I just couldn't want to cover this right when it was happening. Because it was just too heartbreaking for me to want to cover it at the moment when it was happening. At the moment it was transpiring. But this situation, it is just like what Miss Adams said, it is it's horrible. It's very horrible. Yeah, it's very horrible. So like I said, I'm personally I'm mourning with the families. And I've been on mourning with the families with the Buffalo shooting. I'm now mourning with the families with this shooting in Texas, but this not the only shooting that happened in Texas. There's another shooting that happened in Texas on I think last week as well too. So yeah, yeah, and I've been saying the same thing too, Joy. That's why to be honest, that's why I really haven't been too much engaging on social media. I really haven't been on YouTube. Um, if I was on there, I probably just go into like a content creator chat, just drop a stake and I just leave and I just log off because it just became like unbearable to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'll just drop a stake and I'll just leave because to be honest, at this particular moment, I didn't feel like listening to no drama. I didn't feel like listening to no beefs or anything like that. Because you know what I'm saying, I'm in the process of grieving with these families because I just feel like this situation is way more important than some silly stuff that people talking about right now on YouTube. But yeah, well, when I log back on, of course, on Joy, I was saying, different conspiracies behind it. One of the biggest thing that I was seeing was people talking about this conspiracy that this is closely being related to Sandy Hook. But the one thing about it is that Sandy Hook happened back in December, though. But yeah, it's back in December. Mark, what's up with it, bro? One of the biggest takeaways that I feel about this is that just imagine y'all. Just imagine that your child, you drop your child off at school with the expectation of seeing them later on today. Just imagine that you drop your child off at school. You're either at work or wherever you may be at. The next thing receiving the Amber Alert message saying that active shooter is present at your child's school. How would you feel about that? Me being a father and me being a parent, I would be devastated. I'll be hurt by that. I'll be pissed the hell off. And this is what these parents they're dealing with right now. And it does like say I'm not looking at this for us like a race thing because I know that um uh Uvalde, Texas it's more of a heavily Hispanic populated area. Uvalde, Texas it's almost close to San Antonio, so I know exactly where it's at, and it's almost like about 40 miles away from the border, if I'm not mistaken, from the Mexican border. But Yeah, I know exactly where it's at and everything, and it's mainly um, Hispanic populated in that area, like Uvalde, Texas. Then you go down to Brownsville and other areas as well too. It's heavily Hispanic populated. Corpus Christi and all these other areas and stuff too. So when I heard this, y'all, it really did devastate me. It really did. I already grieving, like I said, I'm already grieving for the Buffalo shooting that's happening, where that happened. I already grieving for the shooting that happened in Dallas as well too, when this dude went into a Asian populated community and started open fire at a nail salon. And the one core of these problems is dealing with this one truth, and it's dealing with, dealing with mental behavior. It's dealing with people who have a real hard time coping. It's just like the live I was telling y'all about, when I was telling you about your children and stuff, right? And by how sometimes it's hard for a child to cope into their environment, because they go through a programming. Hey, Trev, so yeah, the whole core of these issues that happen, it deals with the mental behavior of these children, or the mental behaviors of the grounded up. In this situation, both of these situations, it was children, teenagers. So that's like I was saying, and I said again, the reason why I didn't want to immediately cover this is because, and I was, to be honest with you, I was grieving with these family, because I'm very empathetic, especially with situations where people don't deserve it. These families with the one Buffalo shooting, and with um, this shooting here in Texas, and other one mass shooting that are happening around this nation. These people didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve for a person who had personal life grievances to take it out on them. They didn't deserve none of that. So I'm coming to y'all late now, because I'm still grieving over the family. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to have the conversation with y'all. All right, I want to have a conversation of talking about gun control reform, because it's coming, and I want to have a conversation with y'all talking about mental health and mental behavior. So let's talk about it. Let me ask y'all this question: how do y'all feel about these situations that been transpiring in this nation, about the one mass shootings? Do you feel any type of way about it? Do you care? Do you don't care? Does it matter to you? It don't matter to you? Do you care because you're a parent and you're empathetic, or you don't care because, well, as long as it didn't happen in my town or my child, then I'm good? What is your honest feelings about this? What is your honest perspective about this? And does be truthful. Like I say up on my shows, there's no right or wrong. I'm not gonna want to judge it or nothing like that. Yeah, how y'all feel? Yeah, Trey, he's saying that it's normal to him because of the Cunningham situation. That's a good point that you brought up too, bro, about the Cunningham situation. So these situations been going on for a very, very long time, y'all. A very long time. I also want to remember the Columbine situation too. But it's also interesting that Trey say this, right, because now it's to the point where unfortunately many of us we are becoming what's the word, numb to the situation where now it does a way of life to us now. It's just a normal thing. So when these situations happen now, it's hard for you to feel anything because you've just seen it happen over and over and over again, time after time again. You're just seeing your politicians and lawmakers argue about the one point about gun control and reformation. But without no avail, things are still the same. We see it time and time and time again. But it comes to the point where, just like what Trey say, we just become numb about it. It just like, well, it just is what it is. But how far do these situations have to go before we, all of us in this whole nation, realize that something need to happen, something need to give, not just for us to be numb about it, but actual something needs to give where all of us, including us being parents, where we will feel safe with dropping our children off either at school or at college or wherever the case may be, a public event or wherever the case may be, you know, where we begin to want to feel safe in these areas. Yeah, Marcia, she said this. She said, "I'm sick and disgusted with all the shootings going on in this country, but the government isn't going to do anything. Look at how long it's been going on, and nothing's been done." Exactly. I mean, I agree with you, and that was the point that I was making as well too, where these things keep constantly happening, no matter what administration is in the office. These situations still happen time and time again, over and over and over again, without no avail, without no change, no nothing. So yeah, I agree. Hey, baby. And I'm actually glad that you're on here too. Oh, by the way, y'all. By the way, y'all. Wish my one daughter happy birthday. Her birthday is gonna be tomorrow. So y'all want to wish her happy birthday for me. Wish her happy birthday. Her birthday gonna be tomorrow. But she said this. It's scary to think that anytime I enter my school, there is a chance that someone might try to do something. And this is coming from a child, y'all. This is coming from a child. I mean, just imagine just being a teenager and you going to school and you don't know what will happen. You don't know if by you enter to the school it may be your last time going into the school, or you may enter into the school, some type of harm and danger may happen to you, and all you trying to do is go to school and get your education, and you're just trying to get your education. That's it. And just like I say, this is coming from a teenager. Yeah, yeah, Trey. He said this. We had metal detectors at school that we went through daily before he graduated, and it was the same thing with me as well too, Trey, at the school I went to. But here's an interesting thing about that, Trey. I noticed that only the urban schools had metal detectors. Only like urban schools had metal detectors, but more the suburban schools they didn't have metal detectors. Private schools, no metal detectors. Schools were in the areas where people were wealthy at, no metal detectors. It was only the urban schools that had them. But I think since then they probably have removed them, but I'm not for sure. Hey, daughters or Irvin, do y'all have metal detectors at y'all schools still? Do y'all go through metal detectors when y'all enter into y'all building at school? Yeah, Morticia, she said this when I saw nothing was done about those babies since Sandy Hook, I knew this country was on on demon time. Yeah, true, true. Then my daughter she says this the worst part about it is that some of the kids in the school joke about it. Wow. So the kids was joking about it to school. Wow. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, wish my daughter happy birthday. Her birthday is tomorrow, which is what about 40 minutes from now. So go ahead and want to wish her happy birthday. Wish her happy birthday. Hey, put my video. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you want tuning in. Now, put my video says this on school is nothing more than a brainwashing and prison training. Hence your children. Um, you're a fool if you don't. To be honest with you, I actually had talk about that too. Punk my video. I actually had talk about that when I was making reference that our modern day educational system is pretty much training, not training our children to be successful, but it's training our children to be model citizens. So they have our children go to school for 8 hours a day. The same exact concept of us being grown adults. So they're basically training our children to be part of the workforce. But the one difference is that instead of them being rewarded monetary value like how we are, they reward them with grades. But that's basically what it is. And this is with the system, period. And no matter what part of the system that you go through, it don't matter if you're in a private school, public school, it don't matter. It don't matter. It's the training is still the same. The only difference is that when you look at the public schools or even charter schools, public and charter schools typically is raising the children up so they could be what is known as um, consumers and also be first level management and first level supervisors and employees and stuff like that. But in the private school sectors and stuff, right? They're training their children to be entrepreneurs. They're training their children to be CEOs and different things like that. But at the end goal, it's still the same. It all the end goal is still the same, no matter what path do one parent take for their own children. And yeah, my daughter, she said, no, they don't have metal detectors at that school. Now, Martez, she said this, you made a great point. No matter which party is in office, nothing changed. I want to know why the president doesn't have an executive order to write a bill into law on this issue. That's a that's a very interesting question. Matter of fact, let's hear what the president got to say about this. All right, and I actually got it queued up too. So let's hear what President Biden got to say about all this, and see what needs to happen. All right, so let's visit his perspective. All right, my bad. Let me get to him real quick. All right, let's hear what President Biden got to say real quick about this. All right.
The parents who will never see their child again, never have them jump in bed and cuddle with them. Parents who will never be the same. To lose a child is like having a piece of your soul ripped away. As a nation, we have to ask, when in God's name are we going to stand up to the gun lobby? When in God's name we do what we all know in our gut needs to be done? It's been 3,448 days, 10 years since I stood up at a high school in Connecticut, a grade school in Connecticut, where another gunman massacred 26 people, including 20 first graders at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Since then, there have been over 900 incidents of gunfires reported on school grounds. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Santa Fe High School in Texas. Oxford High School in Michigan. The list goes on, and the list grows when it includes mass shootings at places like movie theaters, houses of worship, as we saw just 10 days ago, at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. I am sick and tired of it. We have to act. And don't tell me we can't have an impact on this carnage. When we passed the assault weapons ban, mass shootings went down. When the law expired, mass shootings tripled. What struck me was these kinds of mass shootings rarely happen anywhere else in the world. Why? They have mental health problems. They have domestic disputes in other countries. They have people who are lost. But these kinds of mass shootings never happen with the kind of frequency they happen in America. Why? Why are we willing to live with this carnage? Why do we keep letting this happen? Where in God's name is our backbone to have the courage to deal with it and stand up to the lobbies? It's time to turn this pain into action for every parent, for every citizen in this country. We have to make it clear to every elected official in this country. It's time to act.
Now, this video, this came from the Washington Post, okay? This video came from the Washington Post, all right? So how do y'all feel about the president announcement? How y'all feel about what he's saying regarding gun control law? Do y'all think his response is valid? Do y'all think that gun control laws need to be reformed now? Or do y'all believe that this a bunch of bullshit and they're not going to do a damn thing about it? Let me know what y'all think. Things Visual, what's up with a salute, welcome. Now, Things Visual say this, everybody can't have their own business. This world needs workers as well, too. A stable income is better for most people. Being a business owner is very risky. And I agree with you, too. And that was the reason why I was referencing that, too, on Things Visual, because of the different levels of how the way they're training our children. They're training our children to either be consumers or employees, and they're training other children to actually be CEOs and entrepreneurs and stuff as well too. So yeah, I agree with your response. None you were so with it. So with it. Now, Palma Video says this. He said, remember, the only thing keeping you and your family from being taken to FEMA camp is the Second Amendment. This is a false flag operation, and it's interesting that you bringing that up to Pump My Video, because there have been a lot of they call them conspiracy theories, but there been a lot of theories going around to all these situations transpiring the way it is, from the Buffalo shooting recently. Then prior before that, we had Mr. James going and open fire in the subway in New York. We had the one shootings that happened here in my state in Texas. But all these things, they also at the same time, all these things that been happening prior before this. So let me ask you this question on my video, since you references. Okay, let's just say that the situation is a false flag operation. Let's just say that the situation is activated by Project MK Ultra, right? So what is the end goal of all of this? Why do it take so long for them to go ahead and activate their end goal instead of constantly triggering people or constantly activating these people to do these heinous acts? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, she says there's a whole lot of talking and ain't nothing said, and she's referencing the president, by the way. But I do have to reference this as well on Morticia. Even though the president could have the power to initiate an executive order, but when it comes down to it, as we all know, the president is only the spokesperson for the country. We all know this without shadow of doubt, 100% fact, that the president is only the spokesperson for the country. He's only the face for the country. But at the end of the day, the president doesn't control the laws and regulation of this country. The Senate and Congress controls the overall laws of this country. If you want to take it a bit further than that, the overall, the people who are known as the elites, it's the ultimate power and control over this country. So regardless of how the way the president feel about it, or regardless of how many executive orders he can initiate and do whatever stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if these are higher ups, these higher people in this country, if they don't want nothing to happen, if they're cool with this situation constantly happen, maybe it's helping them to generate revenue, or maybe they're part of a weird, crazy bloodbath ritual, or whatever the case may be, right? At the end of the day, the end resort is coming back towards these people who are known as the elites or higher up. Things visually said this gun control laws affect the people that legally own guns or get guns the legal way. How do these gun laws affect those who get the guns illegally? Doesn't it make it pointless? That's a good point. That is a good point. Because currently there are different gun laws that are initiated in this country. There are different gun laws and regulations and everything in this country. But yet and still, for some real reason, how in the hell is an 18-year-old able to get access to a semi-automatic weapon? They can't purchase these weapons. If I'm not mistaken, you have to be 21 years or older to purchase any type of firearms in this country, unless they didn't change that, unless I done missed something. But how are they getting access to these weapons? The only logical conclusion that I could come up with, y'all, is that the only way they getting access to these weapons is either um, the parents who they're with, or these kids have access to what is known as the dark web, and go on the dark web and find some way to purchase these items on the dark web. Because even on the dark web, you don't need an actual real you don't need like a real credit card account and thing like that to purchase things on the dark web. All you need is you could get like one of them load up prepaid cards and load money up and go into the dark web and purchase whatever you want to purchase on the dark web, including guns. You can find the one if you're part if you know a person who know a person who know a person who know a person, you could purchase these type of firearms off the streets. And all of it is done illegally without no trace or anything like that. Now, Morticia said this is always the same script, BS from these politicians. I saw the father of one of the Parkland, Florida shooting victims earlier. He ripped into Biden and other politicians, which I agree. Every right should. You talking about the dishonor the people, then they want to enslave and exterminate us, depopulate in the name of the game. But even with that, from my video, even with that, let's talk about it. What would be the end goal of even that? Because I'm just like I say, I'm also aware of that. I'm also aware about the Georgia Godstones where it has their laws and regulations where they want to keep the population to a certain percentage, and they was saying it's because they don't want the overall Earth to be overly populated because we will run out of natural resources. For example, fossil fuels and different things like that. So they keep the population to a certain level. So therefore, they activate these certain type of events to to happen. Such as these mass shootings, such as what we just went through the pandemic, and other type of things. I heard people talk about that they have a weather controller machine known as HARP, where it controls the weather, and that machine help depopulate people through weatheristic events, different things like that. But even with all that I'm explaining, what would it still appears that it's not a quote unquote end goal behind it. It's like a never ending thing. Yeah, my daughter, she says, I'm pretty sure that a handful of shootings are due to kids bullying each other. That's a very interesting point. Now, once again, y'all, she's a teenager, and this is her experiences, while she's at school. Earlier, she made a comment saying that even the children at her school was actually making fun of the situation. They was laughing about the situation. They was making fun and laughing about it instead of taking the situation seriously. Instead of being serious about it and being concerned, because they don't never know. And by her bringing this point up, right, that these kids, they going around, bullying these other kids. You don't never know if that kid will have have a mental breakdown, where the kid will say enough is enough, where they end up on going through, like I said, either getting their parents firearms or find some way to purchase firearms, either through a third-party source or go through the black market and purchase these firearms. And that's how you know it's another situation. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Now, things visual said this truthfully, these things are controlled by the people. The issue is that the people are not organized. For every 5 people that want gun reform, 50 people do not want it. We can't organize on anything, and that is a very, very, very interesting point that you brought up too on things visual. Very interesting point. Very interesting point. And I have to agree with you on this as well too. That um, we're not organized. Absolutely not organized. And then also you made the point that these things are controlled by the people, but unfortunately, if these things was truly controlled by the people, if it was really controlled by us, then the responsibility is not shift on the politicians, but the responsibility is shift on us, correct? If we the people who control these situations, correct? But as you stated, we're not organized, meaning that we're not together as a people. We allow different situations such as social injustice. We allow different situations such as political affiliations, meaning that you're either a Democrat or a Republican or conservative, non-conservative, or you're either part of the Tea Party, you're part of the left, the right, whatever the case may be. All these different things separate us as the overall people of this nation. This is the reason why also the things are the way they are in our educational system too, because supposedly we the people supposed to be organizing and controlling that, but we don't do that. We instead of us doing that, we rely on other people to take control. Let me ask y'all this question on everybody who's viewing right now. How often do y'all attend if y'all have children or you had children? How often did you attend your children PTA meetings? How often did you attend the school board meetings? Even that's on you're viewing right now. How often do you participate in your local voting rights? Matter of fact, there's some I know for a fact there's some runoff elections that's going to happen right here in the state of Texas, and I know there are other states as well too. They're going to have different runoff elections or different things like that. How many of you were actually actively participating in exercising your rights to vote? How many of you know what propositions has been put in place in your said state that you know about? How many of y'all know about these things? How many of y'all were visually and digitally, you know what I'm saying, knowing what's going on? How many of y'all know? Because if that be the case, if you don't know, then accountability once again is on the people, correct? Accountability is that we lack the ambition and we lack the drive to know and understand what's going on in our country. We're so lazy and we want to shift the blame. We want to shift the blame on other things, you know what I'm saying? Like I mentioned about the elites and all the stuff that we want to shift the blame on them. We want to shift the blame on social reform. We want to shift the blame on, political parties, racism, all these other different things. We want to shift the blame on all these things instead of us taking accountability for our own personal actions that we do. Things is not going to change. To be honest with y'all, things is not going to change if we don't change our behavior as a people, as a whole. If we don't change our behavior as a people, The things will never be, as things visual said, things will never be organized with us. The politicians and everything, even the elites, they're gonna do whatever the hell they want to do, anytime they want to do it. But I just believe that change starts with us first as the people. Things change started with our behavior. Things will change when we start really opening up our eyes and um, seeing the overall end goal. Now, one things visual said this: America's too accepting. We aren't harsh on where we aren't harsh like we used to be. Bullies get sympathy, violence gets sympathy. Repeated incidents are viewed as grace. We're literally wearing t-shirts to free lawbreakers, and that's true. Things have changed a lot. Well, the one of the biggest reference that I reference this, and I was talking about relationships, but we could want to talk about we could reference this with where we talk about as well too. Um, we have become very hypersensitive as a nation. We became very, 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 very hypersensitive, where um, it's hard for people to speak out about things that are affecting their everyday life without some other person who resembles any type of mental behavior or mental disorder, whatever the case may be, right? Or they just being some asshole and they just disagree with you, period. And they go back and say no. And then they go up to the lawmakers, stuff like that. They said this about me. Well, okay, let's make a law about it. Put my video say on the leaks are deranged Satanists. I don't even think the elites are religious, to be honest with you. Put my video. I don't even think they're religious. I believe that the elites believe that they're the God. Period. If they feel like they're the God, period, then it don't make no sense to them to serve under something. When you become a Satanist, right, or a Luciferian or any type of thing, what you're doing, you're submitting to that belief. You're submitted to that religious belief system. And I believe that these people who are high in power, they don't want to submit to anything because they consider themselves as a god. Yeah, no other country has consistent mass shootings like the U.S., and they have strict gun laws. That in itself says a lot. And Martisha, that's exactly what President Biden said too. He had on reference that as well too. He said, look, man, other countries have mental illness and stuff like that. So what's the hell difference between other countries and how the way we are? I don't understand it. That's pretty much what he was talking about. And I took care of my high school bully with a ballpoint pen to his neck. What the world? but now on the cool though, even as horrific as what you just said, right? I remember back in the day, yeah, when I was in school, the best way for us to deal with bullying is for us to literally go to the schoolyard and square up. We'll go to the schoolyard, we'll square up, we'll have a fight. There, where we have the fight, it's not where we have a fight. It's not the point of winning and losing. The whole point of the fight is about respect. So we'll go and square up, we'll fight, and it's all about respect. Then at the end of the day, once when we fight and we get it all out of our system, we go back and shake hands and we cool after that. But now it's different. Now there's a whole new level to that. You know what I'm saying? Now the modern day children, they're dealing with things such as cyberbullying. They're dealing with things known as cyberbullying, where a person will cyberbully you, and that's cyber. And I want y'all to understand this perspective too about what these modern day children are dealing with now. Cyberbullying is not just at school. It's one thing to deal with, bullying with a one person at school, but cyberbullying manifests itself to multiple people bullying you. Not only at school, but on social media as well too. And these multiple people, they don't even have to go to the school. They could go to other schools around where your school is at. Hell, they could cyberbully you in France. They could cyberbully you in Italy. They could cyberbully you in Africa. They could cyberbully you all over the world. So I want y'all to, so you who are parents, right? Who are grown adults, right? I want y'all to take consideration of this. That cyberbullying could occur all over the world, and this one child is dealing with a cyberbully on this grand level. Let's imagine that. How would you think that child would feel? How would you think that child would feel being cyberbullied with people that they don't even know? How would you think they feel? Now, I mentioned this on my lives and stuff too, that part of our human nature is that we have the need to want to be accepted. We want to be accepted. We want to be a part of the overall collective. And this is no different from a child going to school, because at the end of the day, they want to be socially accepted. But when you deal with cyberbullying is basically saying that, hey, you're not going to be part of not only our collective, but anyone collective in the whole entire world, period. And so that child feel left out. That child feel like being an outcast. That child behavior start changing. That child start resenting not only their life, but that child start resenting people around them. The next thing you know, this child develop a not only a narcissistic, but also a sociopath, a psychopath behavior. The next thing you know, we're looking at this situation as we're looking at right now with this teenager shooting up to school. But I'm sharing this with y'all because I want y'all who are adults now to understand that things is different. They're dealing with these type of issues on a whole different level versus how the way we dealt with them. And to be honest with y'all, to be absolutely honest with y'all, if you do have children, or even if you don't have children, you may have nieces or nephews or whatever the case may be. If you care about them, if you care about their safety and well-being and everything like that, I honestly believe that it's time for y'all to really have a conversation with your children. It's time for y'all to really be active in your children's life and understand the issues that they go through every single day, especially at school. It's time for us to be vigilant about the things that these modern day children are going through. And I know what some of y'all are going to say. Y'all like, well, so I'm a working parent and, different things like that. I mean, I get it. I understand. You're a working parent and, by the time you get off of work, you really don't feel like engaging too much in the conversation. But the conversation going to need to be made. You're going to need to start having these conversations with your children, these tough conversations with your children to find out what's going on. Then once when you start finding out what's going on, then that's when you need to change your behavior as a parent, as a grown adult, is start thinking about ways of how you can improve your area where you live at. Start thinking about taking accountability for your actions that you choose to do. Some of y'all want, like I say, y'all choose to ignore the issues that are happening even in your local area. There's crime happening in your local area right now, but instead of figuring out the why and do what you need to do about it, you turn the blind eye. You walk away. Now, Things Visual said this on that there were two freedom of choice, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Why want their countries this bad? Because they do not have this much freedom. This is no real order in America. So, Things Visual, do you think that we need to be more of a communist party country? Do you believe that it needs to be more of a dictatorship where our laws and stuff would be strictly enforced? Now, Pumba said, love is the answer. I mean, I agree. Love is the answer, but at the same time, not only that's the answer, but taking accountability is the answer too. Changing your behavior is the answer as well too. Because you can love all day long. You can love all day long. There are people who do these heinous acts in the name of love. A man who go and do domestic violence against a woman, he say he do it in the name of love. A woman who had domestic violence against a man, she say she do it in the name of love. Grown adults, physically, mentally, and spiritually abusing children, they say that they do it in the name of love. But if you don't change the behavior behind it, then love is not going to be the overall answer. It has to be something even greater than that to have to change. Matt, what's up with it, bro? And the Christmas bushes. So with it. We literally have no snitch. We literally have a no snitch policy in place to protect lawbreakers because we do not want them to suffer the consequences of their actions based on racial bias. What happened to moral bias? That's a good question. That's a good question. And then, like I say, the Things Visual, everything that you want to mention and stuff like that, don't want to disregard it, thinking that I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I agree with it, but I'm just also at the same time challenging your way of thinking as well too. Not in a bad way, but I'm just throwing out different perspective as well too. Hey, Keisha, salute. Yeah, good night. Salute. You say your friend seen an interdimensional being with a glowing red eyes. They feed on fear. This was in 1985. We both saw it look like the Grim Reaper, strong magnetic field in the vortex. Where did you see this being at? And I know you said it happened back in 1985. Where did you see this being at per my video? And also, let me ask you this: have you seen the same being right now in your adult life? I'm assuming that you're adult. I'm assuming that you're adult. So even in your adult life, have you seen this being? Yeah, and actually, my daughter was telling me that too and stuff. She was telling me about the kids at her school. How they just be fighting all the time for crazy reasons and stuff at the school. See, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why you were seeing them strange being. It wasn't because you done tapped into the interdimensional. It wasn't because you tapped into the spiritual realm, bro. It because you was high as fuck. That's what it was. You was high as hell. I remember I remember I had um I had took some edibles for the first time, right? I had done took some edibles for the first time in my life. Just to be doing it, right? And when I took them edibles, I kid y'all not, them edibles I ate, time has slowed down dramatically. Time has slowed down. Man, I was saying Albert Einstein E equals MC square equations and everything. I was saying all of this because I ate that edible. I was saying light literally bent in front of my eyes, but it was because I was high as hell. Oh, rambling. What's up with it? What's up with it? Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Once again, I apologize. I didn't cover it as it was happening because, like I say, I've been grieving about this whole situation. I've been grieving with the families. I've been grieving about the Buffalo situation and all these other situations as well too. But, so yeah, I've been grieving about it. I've been because like I said, I'm very empathetic, towards people. I don't like to see bad things happen to people, especially when it's not deserving. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's not deserving. Now, man, he said this. You can't blame cyberbullying. I bully folks across town and in other schools, and I didn't even have a pager. We are blaming cyberbully. Now get on back in that bushes. We're blaming cyberbully. It is actually 2 minutes to my daughter's birthday. My daughter's the daughter of Urban. It's about 2 minutes till her birthday. When it hit 12 o'clock, y'all, wish my daughter a happy birthday, y'all. At least do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even asking y'all to like and subscribe to me or anything like that. At least when it turns, well, it's gonna be 12 o'clock in 1 minute our time in Texas time. All right. So when it hit 12 o'clock, y'all, at least that's wish my daughter happy birthday. I don't care about y'all hitting the like button. I don't care about y'all doing all this stuff. Just wish her happy birthday. That matters to me more than anything. Now, on Puma Video, he said love equals self control and sacrifice, and absolutely, I agree with that. Absolutely, and you pretty much just summed up my point too that I'm making because love can't be just enough. It have to be more than that. Self control that deals with dealing with your certain mental issues and things like that. Sacrifice. That also deals with what I was challenging you out earlier about you getting out of your way of thinking and start being involved into the things that matters to you, that matters to the nation, that matters to your local area as well too. Start getting out and figure out what's going on in your local area. If there are any type of voting or anything like that happening in your area, it's time for you to start getting involved and knowing what's really happening. It's time for you to start sacrificing, getting involved. It's time for you to sacrifice that sleep and me time and start knowing what's going on with these children in your own areas as well too. Matt say this but if we train them to be overcautious, they won't learn enough to pass on. I mean, yeah. But that's the thing. I I believe that we need to they need to be trained to be balanced, to be very much aware of what's going on and to know how to handle situations, especially when we are not there with them all the time. So that responsibility was come to us as the parent. Now things which says America is America is one of the only countries I have hundreds of different belief systems that are accepted. How many different belief systems are in India, Jerusalem, and China? We may be too diversified. Well, to answer your question, India, Jerusalem, and China, they have different belief systems that as well too. India has Hinduism. India, they're one different sects in India that believes in Christianity. They're one different sects as well. Jerusalem believes in Christianity, Islam. China believes in Christianity, Buddhism as well. So they got different belief systems. But I was only just naming the major ones, but they got different belief systems as well. But this is worldwide. That's the point that I'm trying to make to you. That is worldwide. And I don't believe that the belief system is the overall issue. I believe that it plays a role in it, but I don't believe that the overall, when you're talking about overall religious belief system, I don't believe that that's the overall problem. Some of it, like I said, some of it absolutely do play a role in it, depending on the different set or the different denominations or whatever you want to call it. Because even within the religious belief system, some people believe one thing about their religious belief system, but there are other people who divest it and believe in it into another form of it. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, daughter, Cerebral. Oh, the other thing is materialized. We read the way, yeah, bro. You was high as hell, bro. My bro was high, but now overall, I know after that experience, I know y'all was laughing. It probably scared the hell of y'all, but hell out of y'all. But I know y'all was laughing about the experience afterwards, huh? Yeah, I know y'all was laughing about that. Yeah. I heard that the San Monaco Mountains was on Hunter. I heard about that. I heard, but I don't know how true that is. But I have heard the different reports about that. Cyberbullying only affects sensitive people. Hypersensitivity starts in the household. Cyberbullying is only a form of bullying that you have control over. Okay. So we've been discussing about what was going on in the situation. We've been discussing about different problems. So let me ask y'all this before I get off here, y'all. What do y'all think would be the overall solution to all this? What do y'all think that needs to change in order for this situation to not happen again? In order for us to feel safe? Do y'all think that um, we need to do as a people to enforce gun reform? Do y'all believe that we as a people need to enforce mental health enforcement, meaning that we have certain people who are trained to detect mental behavior and stuff, right? We have certain people who are trained to detect mental behavior, and they can pinpoint that and deal with it in real time. Now, how they deal with it in real time, I have absolutely no idea. But I'm just saying. So what do y'all think is the solution? Yeah, if you don't like what people saying black on, that's easy. Before we allow kids on social media, we need to explain to them what to expect and how to protect themselves. And that is true. As a parent, that's true. That's true. But once again, at the same time, we can want to train our children up for that, and that's fine. But when it comes down to it, just like I stated in my other lives, that when it comes down to it, people want to be socially accepted. It's easy to block people, which I say that too. That hey, you don't have to go through all that. Just block them. Just say the heck with it. Just block them. That's the easiest way. But when you have when you have this mentality that you want to be accepted, you have this mentality that you don't want to feel like you're the outcast or anything like that. Then it it becomes tough on people. It becomes tough for people to just block that person. Instead of them doing it, they want to figure out more of what's going on. This is like the same situation where I was also talking about with dealing with the beefs and different things like that on YouTube, where people want to feel so much socially accepted, right, that they'll stay tuned in to these very people that they don't like, and they'll allow their behavior to continue because they want to be socially accepted. Gotcha. But yeah, y'all talk to me before I end this live on. Y'all talk to me. What do y'all think would be the overall solution to all this? How can we as the people prevent from this happening again? Because you don't never know. You'll never know if we look at it on the aspect of Project MK Ultra, where people are being brainwashed and they're being activated. How do we prevent this from happening? Because you'll never know if a person will probably be activated in your local area. You'll never know that one day you probably going to the store or whatever, or as put my video say getting him some LSD whatever drugs. So right, going there and you just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and this person being activated. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think we need to do as the people? Because I already gave y'all my different scenarios and different solutions that I believe that needs to happen in this situation in order for us to be successful in this nation. But I just want to hear it from y'all. Yeah, man, he said it's no reform, not right now. They're trying to take us over, and our weapon system wanting on defense. They who? Who's trying to take us over? Then my next question would be that if that be the case, knowing who is they and who's trying to take us over, my next question is why they waited so long to do it? Why they have to do all this extra stuff just to take over when, as I pointed out, they're considered as the elite, right? So they don't need permission to do anything. They don't need to create situations in order for them to do certain things, right? They just would do it. Period. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. All I'm doing, I'm just challenging it. But yeah, yeah, let me know before I go. Right now, in the state of Texas, not only we dealing with this situation, but we also dealing with some real bad weather right now. It's storming here. I don't know if y'all heard this, but we also had like a super tornado here in Texas too. So we got a lot of stuff going on in Texas right now. So we dealing with this bad weather. We had a super tornado here. Um, I don't know what's going on right now. I know it's we experiencing thunderstorms and I think it's flooding in certain areas too. So that's that. It could be an archon or it. No, it's not a jinn. Because to my knowledge, jinn don't have red eyes. So it could be a jinn and maybe be archon. I don't know. I don't have no idea. It could be could be that possibility. Could be a possibility. But a jinn don't do that though. A jinn don't have that type of behavior. Reason why I know because I studied demonology by the way too. Put my video. So that's why I know what you're talking about. Country don't a country that don't have gun issues or a slave to their government and very easily took over uh and pushed around. Okay. All right. Good night. Yeah. Well, my bad on that, Matt. My bad on that. They're not trying to take us over in Texas. We have open carry down here. If the teachers were armed and allowed to carry arms to school, fewer kids would have died. Yeah, that's the only thing in Texas about our open carry law is that here in Texas where we're allowed to open carry, but the one exception to that rule is that we cannot open carry in like sporting events. We can't open carry when we go to like schools or anything like that. We can't open carry neither. So there is a limitation to that open carry law. There's definitely a limitation to that. But all right, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this night. Once again, I apologize for not going live earlier on my normal time. Just like I say, to be honest with y'all, the reason why I didn't go live on my normal time is because I was in the process of grieving with these families that deal with this situation in Texas, and also grieving with the families dealing with the situation in Buffalo, and and so I just needed this time to just kind of not be on social media. Well, actually, preferably on YouTube. I just needed time to not be on YouTube for a while, just to kind of gather myself and so I can come back and be able to come back on her and report and present this information out to you. So my condolences is out to all the families who are affected by this bad event. yeah, I wish things would be different, but I know it's not. Um, I do agree that things do need to change. Now, for us like gun control reform, to be honest with you, I really don't know because at the same time, I don't want our rights to be taken away to to protect ourselves. I don't want our Second Amendment rights to be taken away because you'll never know what will happen. You'll never know what will happen in a situation. You'll never know that one day um, we take away our rights to bear arms, and next thing you know, we being invaded. You'll never know. So, but I do strongly agree that that mental health do need to be enforced, where we have expert people to pick up on these behaviors. I do agree with that for sure. Absolutely, I do. Hmm. Armed society is a polite society. Yeah, I get you. Right, everybody. Once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Um, make sure that it's this totally up to y'all too. Make sure y'all have y'all condolences out for everyone who been affected by this situation. Buffalo, also in Texas, and everywhere else around the nation and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Help if you want to believe in prayer or anything like that, or send out your prayers with everybody. If you're able to do anything, right? Oh, good night, Morticia. I appreciate you tuning in. I'm getting ready to leave too, by the way. But yeah, if you're able to do anything possible to help, then by all means do it. Which is what I'm saying, changing your behavior, changes how the way you perceive things, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. But yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you want to not sub up to my channel, by all means, sub up to the official Urban Therapist. Sub up to my channel. And I was becoming and what I do, I was with my lives, I was come on here and I'd give you a different perspective from a sociologist perspective per se about different topics that I cover these type of topics, or I cover information about relationships. Lately, I prior before this, lately I was covering situations by the thing that was with Kevin Samuels and his son recent passing. Different things like that. I cover wherever it is, you know, and give you my perspective about it. So yeah, if you're not sub to my channel, by all means, sub up to my channel, so you can get this information. Also at the same time, my group as well too that I'm a part of as well too. Matt Militant, he's one of them. We are known as Steak Gang. We're here for peace and not beef. So you can sub up to our Matt Militant channel. He done dropped it in the chat. We got other good content creators besides myself. We have Moneyboy Trey, Toxic Masculinity Show. We have Joy Chit Chat as well too. Where we have Huggy Bacino. Um, all these different other people that has really really good content, and everybody has a different perspective as well too. So once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in, y'all. Y'all have a great Wednesday. Hopefully, I'll come back again on Wednesday and have another show with y'all. Uh, Probably later on today on Wednesday. All right. So y'all continue to fight fate with faith, and I will see y'all again on the next episode. Peace out and good night and / good morning.